Whew. Mm-hmm. We're gonna go. Hey guys, so I'm glad to by the poolside. Finally, the pool's open over here in New York City. So I want you guys to remember one thing, that your job is temporary. Never make your job the end all be all of your life. Because when you're chained to your job, you miss out a lot in life. When your job is stressing you out, you don't feel like doing things. When your job is not acting right or the way you want your job to act, you can't think right. If you can't move the way you want to move because of a job, then you need to leave. Because here's the reality, guys. Life is supposed to be lived, not struggled. Life is we're supposed to have everything that we want. We're supposed to do everything that we want, or do anything that we want. See, when I had a job, I realized that my job only got me but so far. My job did not get me to where I wanted to go. So for me, I tell people, make your job a temporary thing. Don't make your job a lifelong thing, okay? Because here's the reality. At any given time, your job could say, bye-bye. Look what happened to over 40, 50 million people right now in America. Now, their job said bye-bye. Look at all of those people that were working at JCPenney. JCPenney is over. They said bye-bye. So, if you know at any given time, I don't care if you're a cop, I don't care if you're a judge, I don't care if you're a teacher, your job can say bye-bye to you anytime. They can demote you. They can, make your pay lower. I mean, all of these negative things that can happen to you at a job. And I'm not against jobs. I used to have a job. I used to be a social worker. I worked there for 5 years. I hated it. But I realized that a job is nothing but a business that someone created and hired employees there. Walmart is nothing but a business. They hired employees to work there. Right? So the same thing. Okay? See, unfortunately, we didn't get the real game on how to build wealth, on how to hire people, on, how, to hire employees instead of looking to be an employee. We didn't learn how to set up our own investments or our own retirement plan. So now we dependent on the government to set up all this stuff for us. So now in the 21st century, and now after COVID, do you know how many people ain't going back to work? Whether they want to or not, there's a lot of people who saying, you know what? I'm going to learn how to cook. I'm going to learn how to sell something either from my house or online, because I know jobs are temporary. See, here's the conditioning that we have. Oh, you work your job for 40 years. Oh, you work your job for 20 years. Oh, you work your job for 10 years. No. Why not set yourself on a timer? I'm going to work my job for 5 years or even 10. 10 years. And then guess what? I'm going to take off 2 years so that I can just go travel. Right? See, working a job for 10, 20, 30 years to a millennial who the teenagers, they 18, 19, 20, 21 years old right now, it don't make sense to them. Why work a job for 20 years when all I'm going to do is what? Just keep working? Because a lot of jobs are not giving benefits. A lot of jobs are not offering 401ks anymore, and retirement and social security and all that shit anymore. So millennials are like, I'm not going to work for a job for 40 years and, then retire and then what? No. Right? So make your job temporary. Make it a temporary thing. Now, if it's your business and you got your own bakery, or you got your own store selling clothes, or you got your own store selling health products, that is different. Because it's your business and you can run your business for the rest of your life. But to have a job and work for somebody else, now if it's a family business, of course that's different. But to work for somebody else, a perfect stranger, for the rest of your life, it don't make no sense to me. And these millennials, 18, 19, 21, 25, that don't make sense to them either. So why do you see so many millennials starting businesses, starting selling hair, start selling nails, start selling lip gloss, start selling shoes and clothes? Because they know the future's up to them. The future's not up to their job and the government and the 401k, right? See, we were conditioned to depend on the government. We were dependent upon the government for everything. So we feel like we can't go get our own because we got to depend on the government. See, the millennials don't give a fuck. Millennials ain't dependent on the government. The millennials are out here getting their own bread. They're getting their own paper. They're doing their own thing. They want freedom. They want time. They want money. And they want to be able to do what they want to do when they want to do it. So it's really that simple, guys. It's really a shift in your mind, all right, that you have to make. Well, everybody has to make, right? Because unfortunately, 40 million people right now didn't make that shift quick enough, where, they wasn't able to start a business right before they got laid off, right? So again, but if you went in your job and said, I'm going to only work this job for 5 to 8 years. I'm going to give myself a 5 to 8 year plan to work my job, but I'm going to work my job from 5 to 8 years, but I'm also going to work my business 5 to 8 years. So in 5 to 8 years, I have 100 grand saved or 100 grand invested. So I can be able to take off from this job or leave this job and take a whole year off to travel the world, or just travel, or just stay home. Here's the problem with jobs, guys. You don't get enough breaks. Jobs don't give you enough breaks. They give you a 2-week vacation once a year. It's 365 days in the fucking year. You giving me 14 days? Come on, man. People should at least have 3 months, 90 days off. Right? But again, when you're working for people, you got to follow their rules. But if you create your own, do a 5 to 8 year plan, save up 100 grand, and then chill for a year or two. And if you decide, I want to go get another job, or I want to continue to, do my business, choice is yours, right? But at the end of the day, guys, we cannot continue on this cycle. We cannot continue on this cycle of, I got to get a job. 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 And then once you get the job, you don't even like the job. You don't even like the duties that you got to do. You don't even like the supervisor. You don't even like the boss. But you got to get a job? You know how much people don't like their job? You know how much people hate their fucking job? How much people hate their supervisor? I hated my supervisor. The bitch was a dingbat. Ding-bat. Ding-ding. Ding-bat. I hated her. Like, she was just stupid. So again, use this video as a word of advice. 5 to 8 year plan. But in that 5 to 8 years, yeah, you working your job. Yeah, you building up your work ethic. Yeah, you're building up yourself, but also you're working your business. You're working your business soon as you get off of work. Soon before you go to work, right? You're on the weekend, you're working your business because you have a goal. You're not going out with friends. You're not hanging out with friends. You're not traveling because you have a goal. Your goal is 5 to 8 years to do this job and then work my business for the rest of my life. That's the plan, right? That should be the plan. That makes 100% sense to me. That's a great plan that everyone should have, because now we have more people employing their own. If you work your job from 5 to 8 years and have your business thriving, now you can hire your children. Now you can hire your nieces and nephews, your godchildren. You don't have to send them off to some perfect stranger to go look for a job that they don't even want. Without any goals, without any dream, just work the job until what? They fire you? Work the job until what? They lay you off? Come on, man. We got to think better than that. We got to think better than this. We got to think better than this. We got to open up our minds. You know, we got to start to control our life. We got to start to control our money. We got to start to control our thoughts. We got to start to control where we're going. Make sure you send this video to 10 of your friends. Make sure you subscribe, leave a comment, go to my website, blackwolf101.net. I go over credit, fixing your credit. I go over how to build your business. I go over different ways that you can tap into getting funding for your business. I go over different ways that you can build up your mindset, different ways to make money, online. All of these things, guys, that we didn't learn in school. All the shit that we didn't learn in school that could have made us wealthy, that could have gave us a 5-year plan, that could have gave us an 8-year plan, and then you say, I'm going to work my business. The reality is, a lot of people that got laid off, they're going to go look for another job. It's a shame. And that job is going to pay them less than what they was currently making at their other job. And then there's some people that saying, I'm not going back to a job. All I'm going to do is work my business. One of my business partners, I'm in a coaching group, and she said, today I officially quit my job to work my business. And that was the best post for that day. I said, this is what more and more people need to do, because my job gave me too much anxiety. I had to go to work. I didn't know if I was going to get written up. I didn't know if I did the notes right, or I had to go see, more kids. I had to go see more people. Fucking headache. It was a headache because I had social work. I did social work, so I had to go see kids. I had to go to schools and see kids. I had to go to doctors, see kids, all of this different shit. But life has so much to offer, man. Life has so much to offer. Life has so much to offer than just a job and aggravation and stress and headache. Life has so much to offer, guys. There's so much abundance. There's so much prosperity. There's so much money. There's so many opportunities for you and your family to tap into. There's so many places to travel. But if all you do is being stressed out, and all you do is you're depressed, and all you do is have anxiety, you ain't going to be able to experience abundance, sis. You're not going to be able to experience happiness, sis. You're not. Right? Because your job ain't making you happy. You got to make you happy. Right? You're responsible for your happiness. You're responsible for your love. You're responsible for your health. You're responsible for your wealth. Not your job. Not the government. You, sis. I love all this greenery. So now's the time, guys, to take responsibility. For your life, for your future, for your kids' life, for your spouse life. Now is the time. 2020 was a blessing. COVID was a blessing. But if you treat it like a curse, you're going to go into 2021 cursed. You're going to go into 2022 cursed. 2023 cursed. Here with my daughter. But make your next move. Go in the pool. Make your next move, guys, your best move. 2020 ain't canceled. 2020 ain't over. Not yet. See you guys in class. blackwealth101.net.